VILMA, live in LA, Season 4, Episode 24.
GFN, Global Filipino Network. VILMA, live in LA. 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 VILMA, live in LA.
Hi there, and welcome to VILMA, live in LA. And tonight we feature icons. That's right, icons. So we have Anna Wong, or Anna May Wong, and she is the niece of this legendary, iconic actress, Anna May Wong. And then we also have Andrew Bull, who is an icon in Hong Kong and in China. And yes, he is also a legendary DJ and much more. So we'll have that all on the show tonight. So happy to have you on VILMA, live in LA. And of course, to all my friends out there, hi, keep the chats going, because yes, we have a lot of fun doing that as well. So here we go, on with the show. Ever wonder what it takes for an individual to have that strong resilience, the will, the dream, the goal to keep pursuing what they love and really make a difference? Well, Anna May Wong starred in the silent films and into the speaking film, the sound films, and we'll hear all about Anna May Wong from her niece, Anna May Wong. Here it is. VILMA live in LA, and in Los Angeles, we have the opportunity to interview an amazing personality. Well, she is an event planner and also books talents. Plus, she is also the niece of a very iconic personality. So we would like to welcome Anna Wong right here on the show. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Vilma. So nice to have you, meet you, see you, and have. I'm so excited you asked me to be on the show.
I know. It's like, there's a reason for this because I heard that Anime Wong, who is an icon, a legend, and she broke all the barriers, is your aunt. And
Correct.
yeah, and amazingly enough, this month is like the Asian celebrating Asia on Netflix, and I just watched her, a movie about her. So, wow, this is perfect timing.
Yes, she's also Turner Classic Movie has made her the star, May's Star of the Month.
Yes. Oh my, May Star of the Month. That is so wonderful. Okay, so Anna, I know that you're named after her
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. What can you remember, or your parents, what have they told you about Anime Wong?
Well, my father was her brother,
Hmm.
and my father named me after Anime Wong. I have her American name, Anime Wong. I also have her Chinese name, Wong Lu Song. That's her Chinese name too. So my name is really Anime Wong Lu Song, but it's long, and so I just go by Anna Wong. My father would tell us stories for a long time. We didn't really know she was famous. When we were a child, we saw pictures of her, around the house, and she was so pretty. I would go look at her and I'm like, wow, she was this pretty lady. And then as we got older, my father let us know that she was an actress. She's one of the first Asian actors, and she was a woman too. Well, obviously, and he began to tell us stories of how she broke the barriers of being a woman and a person of color as an actor. She worked so hard to get where to get roles, and she wanted to be known as an actor. She happened to be Asian, but she wanted to be known as an actor. She was American.
Right, right. And, she's one of those that was in the silent films and
Yes.
transitioned into, sound films. And she was so good at it that, they were all so amazed, and yeah. So just tell us if you have any, memories of that.
Well, she did transition very well into what they call talkies.
Yes.
And in fact, there are several movies of hers that when people have seen, they've told me that when people see her talking, they said, wow, her voice was amazing. And she used to sing, she was a theater actor as well. My family started telling us stories about her when we got old enough to understand. And I was so amazed. They would tell her stories how she loved to be with her friends. She loved to entertain. She had a great sense of humor. She was very passionate about women being in the acting field, and also very passionate about Asians being able to get parts and to
Right.
get roles in Hollywood.
Right. Not to be typecast, right?
Yeah,
She was
exactly,
really
exactly.
strong about that. And she spoke four languages. She,
Yes, she was multilingual.
yes.
Yes, she was, and she one actually that's one of the reasons when she went to Europe, she was very frustrated with the situation in Hollywood. There was a lot of yellow face going on. Do you know what the term yellow face means? It's
Or,
when Caucasian actors are made up to look Asian for the
oh,
part, and the Asian actor is made up to look Caucasian for that part,
oh,
which doesn't seem to me make sense if you have an Asian actor that can play the Asian role. But anyway, so yes, my father would tell us very great stories about she was a wonderful friend, wonderful entertainer. She loved to be uh have friends over. She was very generous with her time and her fans. She signed a lot of autographs.
I heard your gramophone, ladies, and thought I'd come in and get acquainted, if you don't mind.
Not at all. Come in.
It's a bit lonely on a train, isn't it? I'm used to having people around. They put my dog in the baggage car. That's why I dropped in on you. I've been visiting my niece in Pekin. She married a seafaring man. He hasn't been home in 4 years, and she ain't been very cheerful. I have a boarding house in Shanghai. Yorkshire pudding is my specialty, and I only take the most respectable people.
Don't you find respectable people terribly dull?
You're joking, aren't you? I've only known the most respectable people. You see, I keep a boarding house.
What kind of a house did you say?
A boarding house.
Oh.
I'm sure you're very respectable, madam.
I must confess I don't quite know the standard of respectability that you demand in your boarding house, Mrs. Haggerty.
I've made a terrible mistake. I'd better look after me dog. I beg your pardon?
I beg yours.
So she also lived in Santa Monica and kind of like
Yes.
our neighborhood.
Yes. Yes. She actually owned an apartment complex. It was on San Vicente and like 7th Street in that area of Santa Monica. And in fact, I recently met somebody. The Academy of Museum Motion Pictures did a 4 or 5 series, movie series on her. And they asked me to come by and do like a meet and greet kind of thing. And after a gentleman came up to me, a quite dapper elderly gentleman, and he said to me, he goes, you're Anna? And I said, yes. Hi, nice to meet you, sir. And he goes, my name is Conrad. I lived in one of your aunt's apartments years ago. And he told me that one day she found out he was alone for the holidays, and she insisted he come over and hang out with them. So yeah, it's very interesting. I occasionally I do meet people that knew her, and a lot of fans. She has many fans. My family and I are so humbled by the amount of fans that still reach out to me and touch base with me on social media, and the ones that go to her grave all the time and maintain it. I have a lady that planted a very nice shrub by her grave.
Wow.
And yes, so it's very nice. It's
That's
very nice.
because, you know, I could tell, you know, from watching one of the movies about her that she was really all heart and she really cared about her fans, about the people, about, of course, the family and the people that she worked with, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, that
And
really.
she also didn't forget her own family. My father was very close to her, and they traveled together a lot. My Aunt Lou, she was the oldest sibling. They would travel together, and so it was they were very, my father and my father were very close, but she was also very close to her brothers and sisters as well.
Right. Okay, so we were also talking about, you know, she is on a minted quarter.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I'm like waiting for that to come out. Every time we see quarters, we're like looking, but I've already Googled and I'm so amazed. So tell us how that transpired.
Well, interestingly enough, I got a call from the head counsel for the U.S. Mint, and I actually thought, why is the U.S. Mint calling me? And he was very nice, Mr. Greg Weinman. He reached out to me and said that the U.S. Mint was having a new program called American Women in History, and there would be 5 featured women, and they wanted to do one of my aunts. You can buy a set that's like a whole set of all the quarters from the Mint right now. In fact, I just ordered them. They haven't come yet, but he asked me, it was, you know, what I thought, and I thought about it. It was such an honor, and we worked with a very talented artist, and they did a picture of her. It's her face on the quarter, and they sent me the proofs and everything, and it was so exciting. And it took almost a year and a half, and the quarter should be in circulation, I believe, in the fall of this year.
Okay, because we, you know, my friends and I were like looking at every new
Yeah.
2022 quarters. We're going, is she there yet? So I will wait until the fall. new movie also about her that they're making, right? Um,
Yes, it's a biopic. Correct. Yes.
pick.
Yeah.
This one is starring Gemma Chan. Would that be correct?
Yes. Gemma Chan is going to be is like playing my aunt. It's produced by Gemma Chan and Nina Yang Bon Jovi. She's a very talented producer. She did recently. I don't know if you saw Passing. She's done Fruitvale Station. They are involved with Working Title Films, and we're going to be doing a biopic of the book The Laundryman's Daughter. It's by Russell Gow Hodges.
Mhm.
And I've signed on to be a consultant with the project, and I'm very excited. I'm so excited that she's getting her due, and I think her place in history is cemented. But I think more people, as generations go by, I want to make sure that everybody knows who she is and what her legacy is. I want to keep that alive. I'm very passionate about that.
Yeah, I mean, I can feel it too. I mean, just the fact that she was the first female Asian, you know, that got into the Hollywood movies, plus in Europe, she basically broke all the barriers, and to be that iconic, and I'm happy because I know you. It's like,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, I know a little bit of that. I'm like, oh, okay. So with that, I'm truly honored as well that
Thank
you're
you.
on the show. Okay.
Back when she went to Europe, she was very disillusioned
Mhm.
about the state of Hollywood. And I think in Europe, everything's a little bit different. Like you can smoke there. Well, this is back in the day, and people were more accepting of different things as opposed to what in the United States. And so she was on the stage. She did readings. She did acting. She saw her friends. She was very she had a great life in Europe, and she missed home. And she came home eventually, and she came home from some roles. So, you know.
So she paved her way.
Yeah.
She's like the lady. Okay. So now let's talk about you, Anime Wong. You. So you are an event planner.
Correct.
Yes, and also, on occasions, book talents. Can you tell us about that? Because it's important to have someone like you, because there's a lot of artists that want to be able to play in good, you know,
Venues.
venues. Yes. So how did that come about for you?
I started doing well. My husband's a musician,
Oh, yeah.
and I started help. He plays. The pandemic came, so he was playing live venues all around Los Angeles. His brother's a musician as well, and I started helping them book things. And I was producing a comedy show for a while for stand-up comics, and then we blended in live music with stand-up. And what I would tell your viewers is, as an artist, you should always believe in yourself. And there's always it may seem like it's difficult, but if you keep your feet on the ground and keep going, you'll succeed. You need to believe in yourself, and that's what it is. But it is hard. It is difficult. You need to go to different venues. You need to be prepared to make sure you have some sort of even a YouTube video, or not, or even a little video on your phone to show them something how you perform. You should be able, you should feel confident in yourself, and never always, call back. Like if you leave your name with a venue, and then maybe follow up in a couple of weeks. Oh, it's a lot of work.
Yes.
It's a lot of work,
Yeah.
but it's worth it.
Yeah. Do artists approach you, those that know you do this, or it's already been like word of mouth?
It is word of mouth, and it's also, I used to rep a lot of artists as well. Like I do a lot of street artists, and a photographer. I still do. I try to get them gallery showings, and circulate their work and things like that. It is a little. It's mostly word of mouth. I haven't been doing it very well a lot lately because of the pandemic.
Right.
There was, when there was the lockdown, and then after the pandemic, a lot of venues weren't open because of mask mandates and things like that. But LA is starting to become, like Harvell's is playing music again. Silver Lake Lounge is doing music again. These are places all over the area now that are beginning to open up to live music, which I'm excited about because people need to see live music.
Yeah, actually, I need to go visit Harvell's because one of my friend plays there regularly, I believe,
Uh-huh.
on Herman Jackson on a Monday or
Okay.
something. Yeah, I need to go and
Yeah.
visit. Yeah.
Harvell's is an old school Santa Monica location.
Yes.
Been
Yeah.
there for quite some time. Yeah.
Wow. I gotta visit that. So, what challenges have you had as far as, booking venues? Do
The
you
biggest challenge I'd say was recently the pandemic.
right?
And I think it's us also there's a lot of creative artists in Los Angeles, and you can be a musician, you can be an artist, you could be a stand-up comic. There are a lot of people that are out there, and it's one of the things I found is that some venues will pigeonhole certain stereotypes, and that's hard to get this. It's hard to get past that. But I'd say that with diligence,
Yeah.
it's really good to you just have to keep working at it. If you want it, it'll come, and you'll make it.
I totally believe that because I said, if you build it, it'll come.
It's clearly a matter of you need to do you need to believe in yourself. I know some people ask me, should I get a manager? Should I get a rep? You can do that. Some people, it does cost money, but sometimes it's worth it. I know several managers around that are always looking for new talent, but it's not free, and so some people, they can't afford to do it themselves. But if you go to a venue, like for example, Silver Lake Lounge or Harvell's, and
Yes.
you like what you see, go up to the bartender, go up to the manager and say, hey, I've noticed you've got live music on this day. How do I get in on this? Can I be on a songwriters circle? Can I show you can I send you a tape of my a video of my song, and follow up with them? And what I find, some people, they get discouraged, and then they kind of just stop. They stop the momentum, and then that's difficult for them to get back started again. So it's always good to just keep going and keep maintaining the momentum.
Right. I think that's why there's the manager and there's the artist because sometimes the artists can't handle that. You know,
Yeah.
they they work on their creativity and their passion for their music, and they can't handle the business side of it. Is it okay if we mention your husband since he is a musician?
Sure. His name is Nick Morris. He's
Okay.
got some music out on Spotify, Amazon, all those platforms. And then his brother's a musician as well, Kalen Chase. And they've got two bands together, and then they have a couple other bands and some videos and things like that out there. And they've been playing. Well, they haven't played a lot lately. They're currently got a show coming up, I believe, in Nashville at the Bowery Vault with one of their friends, Paul Bellantoni. He's an excellent pianist. So yeah. I go
Wow.
to a lot of live shows.
Yes. I'll go with you.
And I would love to see you the next time you play live.
Yes, yes, will do. Well, thank you so much, Anna, for being on the show and all those amazing tips. Plus, of course, firsthand on Anime Wong. I am so honored. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Hi, this is Herman Jackson.
Hi everyone, this is Elise.
Hello everyone, my name is Camille Cortez and you're watching Vilma live in LA.
Hello, my name is Dee Dee Foster, and I want to give a shout out to all of the Velma Live in LA viewers.
Hi, this is Roland Jewett, inviting you to join Vilma live in LA.
Hello everyone, I'm Anthony Estrada, one of the members of Asia's Power Dreamers.
Hello everyone, this is Carmela Bitonio, an independent artist.
Hi, my name is Danny Lynch, singer, songwriter, music producer, and film creator. And I just want to say hello to all the other artists and viewers of Vilma Live in LA.
Hi everyone, this is Haya Kayamanda and I would like to invite you to please watch
Vilma Live in LA on the GFN channel.
Hello to all the viewers of Vilma Live in LA. This is Tramel Bajola and please keep on watching
Vilma on Live in LA.
Enjoy!
See you there.
See ya!
See ya at Vilma Live in LA. I'll see you.
And we've got legendary DJ, also an iconic personality in Hong Kong, director of Shine Communications, and yes, one of the persons responsible for creating an amazing nightlife in Hong Kong. We have Andrew Ball right here on Vilma Live in LA. Vilma Live in LA, and we are zooming over to Hong Kong. And I am so thrilled that I get to interview this gentleman who I have admired for so long. He has been responsible for the entertainment industry in Hong Kong, the clubs, the concerts, you name it, he's done it. And I'm so proud to call him my friend, Andrew Bull, on the show.
Hey, Vilma.
Hi, finally. Yes.
Great to be here, man.
Yes, yes. We, know each other a long time. And you know what? I did not know you actually worked at RTHK. I did not know
Dude, that was where I started.
My.
That was my first DJ gig in Hong Kong. Well, I guess I had to become a sort of freelance cub news reporter intern guy in the newsroom just to get my foot in the door, because they don't just hand out on air slots to kids who walk in the door. So I had to earn my chops. And but then Uncle Ray gave me a radio show called Hardcore, which was like progressive rock for the early to mid 70s or something like that. That was my musical vibe at that time, and that was in 1972 or something. I don't know.
Wow. So I kind of just missed you because I worked there too, but I was more in the 80s. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's talk about how, you created that Lan Kwai Fong area is an amazing entertainment district in Hong Kong. So how did that start? Because I remember everybody wanted to know you. You were that person.
Those days are gone.
So yes, Lan
I don't know. Well, I mean, it was certainly Lan Kwai Fong was not founded by Andrew Bull, but I was certainly there at the time.
Yes.
And I was there pre-Lan Kwai Fong, obviously, because Lan Kwai Fong was the back alley, but we started on Diagonal Street, really, which was the bit which is actually like a road. Lan Kwai Fong was more like an alley, which actually wasn't even a road. It had a staircase at the end of it. It just kind of went and fell off into Diagonal Street. But if you know anything about Hong Kong at all, that area that you referred to, Lang Kwai Fong, has become a sort of premier entertainment hub in the modern world. The first great club to open in Hong Kong side was Disco Disco, which opened Christmas 1978, which was only 1 year after Studio 54 opened in New York. So Gordon Huthart, who was the owner of that club, was a man of great vision and capability in that respect, and founded that area as a nightlife entity. But we all came along and did our bits and pieces. I had a record shop. There were hair salons. It was a bit Melrosey. Yes. At the time, it wasn't like a bar street. It was like, wow, a yuppie lifestyle zone or something. We created this nightlife area on the back of Disco Disco, really. And the rest is history. It's a huge
exactly. People still go there. So you also produced concerts. You brought in artists. Can you tell us, can you remember all of these artists? I remember I went to Celine Dion.
Oh, wow. We lost a lot of money that night. But I hope you enjoyed the show. It was incredible.
It was.
I rented the defunct Kai Tak Airport runway to mount the event.
That was classic. That was historical, because I think that was the only concert that's ever been there. You brought
Kylie Minogue. Kylie Minogue a few times. Her first ever show in history, which took place at Canton Disco, actually. We're very proud of that milestone achievement. But then later on, when she became huge, we did her shows at the Hong Kong Coliseum maybe twice. But I've toured with, everybody from Sting, Phil Collins. We booked Michael Jackson and sold the tickets to his show at Sha Tin Racecourse in Hong Kong for the Dangerous Tour. But then he was having, let's say, some legal problems. So he was obliged to maybe attend a court appearance. So he wasn't able to meet the date that we had booked the Sha Tin Racecourse for. And because the racing season was about to start, it was no longer available as a venue to mount that production. So we had to give all the money back. And then my partner at the time, Mr. Alan Zeman himself, had to head over to the Beverly Hills Hotel in Los Angeles and park himself there for quite a long time. It was nearly a month it took him to get the $1 million fees back from Michael Jackson's office, because they had to cancel the show. Yeah. So that was interesting. We had some great Simply Red. I really enjoyed touring with them. Mick Hucknall's, I like some of his songs. Holding Back the You.
Yes. You brought Breathe too, right? The group Breathe.
Breathe.
Yes.
Oh, yes. They performed at Canton Disco. You did?
Yeah, Canton Disco. They came up.
I remember the night that Wham's backing singers, Pepsi and Shirley.
Yes, we got pictures.
When they did, Club Tropicana or Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. You had these two chicks on the stage, very nice ladies. One of them's married to one of the members of Spandau Ballet, and the other one seems to spend a lot of time on the beach in the West Indies. That would be Pepsi. They're both my Facebook friends actually these days. But when they came, they did like a mini concert at Canton,
right?
And you guys were there, and then after party in the private bar, we had this incredible sing along.
Yes.
And a photo cropped up on Facebook the other day, which I shared with you, with like Alan Jewell and Pepsi and Shirley, and you three girls from Passion, Phil Collins. I mean, everybody that came through Hong Kong. The Pet Shop Boys, obviously. New Order. Eartha Kitt was one of the greats. She performed at Canton Disco. One of the great weekends we had was when there was a gentleman had his 50th birthday. His wife called me. This guy likes country and western. What can we do for his party? So I hired something called the Highwaymen, which is a supergroup with Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, Waylon Jennings. There's four legends and their wives and entourages all came to Hong Kong, stayed for a week at the Excelsior Hotel. And we did this incredible party at Stanley Fort in the officers' mess.
Wow.
And Chris Patton arrived by helicopter. It was the who's who of Hong Kong that night.
The governor.
I've got a great photo. I've got a great photo of my wife Sally chatting casually with Chris Patton and Johnny Cash backstage. Everybody wearing cowboy hats.
Oh my God! All those memories that you have, amazing. You know.
Wow.
Yes. All of these shows and just the production side of it, the logistics of it. I can just imagine. You know.
Oh,
It's
the biggest check that I ever signed that didn't bounce was for 13 million Hong Kong dollars.
Wow.
Which I signed to David Ruler's production company, David and Maureen. And that was Y2K, when we brought in Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown to, it was the groundbreaking ceremony for the Cyberport, which is a property development done by Richard Lee's company. We had massive production there, water screen, Whitney Houston and Richard Lee cutting the ribbon, and then the next day we did a massive production at the convention center for the transition from the 90s to the 2000s. That was Y2K. We had Whitney Houston that night.
Yes.
It was amazing. But what was even more amazing was the after party. The next day we took everybody, Sister Sledge, Boyz II Men, Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown. We all went to JJ's at the Grand Hyatt.
Wow.
And we were jamming. Whitney Houston was going mad on the mic. We're having a great time. You'd never seen anything like it.
Okay, so let's talk about Canton Disco. You being not just a DJ, but you're like a super DJ.
Well, actually, when I had the privilege and the good fortune to be able to open my own sort of big disco, which I'm sure you remember.
Yes,
that was not. I didn't do that as an opportunity. I wasn't trying to create a job for myself as the DJ. So actually, the hardest thing I ever did was to stop being a DJ. It was like slicing your own arm off with a kitchen knife. It was because when you're at the top of your game doing that, it's a pretty exhilarating existence, and it gives you quite a lot of insights into the human algorithm. But I wanted to use what I learned DJing to apply it to actually running a club. Because if you're a DJ, most of the time you're working in clubs thinking, the guy that runs this place is an idiot. I could do this much better, which is not actually true, because you have no idea what the guy who actually opened it is going through to provide you with that platform. So there's two sides to that coin, by the way. But anyway, when you're a DJ, you think that everything that you think must be correct. So I bought into my own program there, and was able to open this club, but I determined to not DJ it myself. I probably spun music there twice in 7 years.
Yeah.
But it was an incredible kaleidoscope to have been able to create that using everything that I had learned by being a DJ in Hong Kong. Then I opened this amazing club.
Yes, and for those that would like to know, Andrew is married to a supermodel, Sally. Woo!
Oh yeah,
she's beautiful. I love her. Yeah. Okay, so
you should see the video of our 30th anniversary party.
Oh yes, please do share. Yeah.
The Quack and Bull Ball.
Wow, I'm going to look for that. Okay, so Andrew, what other plans do you have besides, rebuilding Canton Disco and this
I'm
mall?
not rebuilding Canton Disco. That would be a fatal mistake. But what? But I'm actually consulting with one of the great restaurant companies of Asia. It's called Elite Concepts, run by a titan of the industry called Paul Hsu, who's a very good friend of mine, and Lito Castillo, who is my music director at the private bar at Canton. We've teamed up, and in K11 Museum, which is the absolutely coolest mall in Hong Kong at this time, down near the Rosewood at Victoria Dockside, and on the Avenue of Stars, we have this great sunset terrace and bar, which we were supposed to open on the 1st of March, but obviously with lockdowns and everything. But we're rekindling that, and it's going to be sunset and sing along. So there'll be a slot for you girls anytime you hit that microphone.
Yes,
Absolutely.
As soon as like I get to visit there again. Yeah, it's gonna be, a while, I guess. Building my brand here in the United States.
Yes. Well, you'll always have a home in Hong Kong.
I know. I still have my ID card, and I can land there anytime.
We used to be neighbors, right? You used to live in Hong Kong.
Yes.
I lived in what's it called, Lam Chun Valley, which is up to the Kaduri farm.
Yes.
Okay, I lived up there, right next to Kaduri farm. The second village down the hill from Kaduri farm is called Chakek. I lived in the same house there for 35 years.
I would like to ask these fun questions. I do this for every guest I have. What makes Andrew smile?
Every time I wake up in the morning and see the unique green color of the Hong Kong countryside, and breathe in that fresh air, which we totally don't have in Shanghai. After 20 years of Shanghai, being back in Hong Kong, for me, makes me smile a lot.
Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, another question for you. Who is your most inspirational person?
Oh, well, certainly my father, the Reverend Ian Henry Bull, chaplain to the forces. He was the most outrageously spiritual fellow, a holy man. So my father was a priest in the British Army. That's how we came to Hong Kong. And he said to me once, if you're going to be a holy man, you have to be a holy man. And I was like, well, I'm not a holy man, right? He said, yeah. So we'll agree to disagree. But he definitely was a key influence on me, and my mother as well. She was fantastic. And as far as people who are not my relatives are concerned, I'm a student of somebody called Pierre Rickmans, he's deceased, unfortunately, but is a great sinologist who taught me through his writings everything that underpins my understanding of Chineseness in the modern era. You should Google him. He writes under the name of Simon Leys, Leys. Most of his books seem to be out of print, but without him, I don't know what I would be thinking.
I will Google it. Okay. And what's your favorite quote, Andrew?
That's one of those questions when you fumble for the answer, and then you come up with something stupid, and then after the Zoom call ends, you think, I should have said, well, I mean, everything that is great has been done by youth. A great quotation from Benjamin Disraeli. I always kept that close to my heart.
That's interesting. I've never really thought.
Stay true to your 16-year-old self.
Yes, I love that. stay true to your 16-year-old self. Okay, so finally, describe yourself in one word or one word that best describes Andrew.
I would say a man who describes himself as the coolest man in the world is not the coolest man in the world. So I can only speak in riddles to answer your question.
You're too funny. Well, thank you so much, Andrew, for being on the show. It's been such a
VILMA.
pleasure. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And our musical guest surprise for you.
I know you hear me when I cry. I try to hold it in at night while you're sleeping next to me, but it's your arms that I need this time. Look at the cards that we've been dealt. If you were anybody else, probably wouldn't last a day. Every tear's a rain parade from hell. Baby, you do it so well. You've been so understanding, you've been so good, and I'm putting you through more than what ever should. And I'm hating myself cause you don't want to admit that it hurts you. I know that it breaks your heart when I cry again over him. I know that it breaks your heart when I cry again instead of ghosting him. We'll get through this, we'll get past this. I'm a girl with a whole lot of baggage, but I love you. We'll get past this. I'm a girl with a whole lot of baggage, yeah, yeah. Though I wish he were here instead. Don't want that living in your head. He just comes to visit me when I'm dreaming every now and then. Baby, you do it so well. You've been so understanding, you've been so good, and I'm putting you through more than what ever should. And I'm hating myself cause you don't want to admit that it hurts you. Baby, I know that it breaks your heart when I cry again over him. I know that it breaks your heart when I cry again instead of ghosting him. We'll get through this, we'll get past this. I'm a girl with a whole lot of baggage, but I love you. We'll get past this. I'm a girl with a whole lot of baggage, yeah, We'll get through this, we'll get past this. I'm a girl with a whole lot of baggage, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on Vilma Live in LA. And just to let you know, we are gearing up for season 5. And yeah, I'm going to be taking a short break because I'm going to be concentrating on the music production plus creating another show. So yes, I'm still going to be here. You're going to see the replays. Vilma Live in LA will be right here with you. And don't forget, just keep watching your social media because we will be announcing season 5. So from my heart to yours, I always give you a whole lot of ding.